Basketball is back home this week. Volleyball starts Sunday, and Eastern Kentucky is in a new conference. We've got a lot to talk about on Inside EKU Sports. We'll begin with the beginning of the volleyball season, and Johnna Bazzani is with us. Man, it's been a little crazy for you. New mother, and your fall schedule gets moved to the winter-spring. How are you keeping up, Johnna?
A lot of coffee. A lot of coffee is what's getting me going. But it's a fun time and just in my life in general. And I think, volleyball is back. It's been over a year since the girls have last competed. So it's a fun and exciting time, but I'm keeping it moving.
So those who don't know, normally volleyball is competed in the fall and you have a fall championship. Now everything is shifted to begin in February, play February and March. You're going to play just conference games, and they've even done these 2 games against the same team, either home or away. So you won't play everybody in the conference this year either.
Yep, correct. We're not going to be playing everybody. I think that's how the schedule was laid out beforehand, but with restricting some travel and just the safest option for our student athletes to be able to compete, they've gone to playing back-to-back Sunday, Monday games. So, yep, we don't get to play every single person, but we'll take whoever we can,
You have 8 players that were on your team last year, not on your team this year. What's the biggest hole or holes you need to fill with your new team?
I think, honestly, we've got some good freshmen that came in this year. We have more depth, I would say, than we did last year. I think the biggest thing is going to be the experience piece. Being able to have that experience on the court is going to be huge for us in the sense of, we've got 5 returners and 8 newcomers. So, but I think we have a lot more depth in positions this year than we did last year. So it's fun to watch the girls play, and that's going to kind of put us at a bigger advantage this year than we did last year.
Was there a focus on what you wanted to recruit to as far as position on the court?
Honestly, we have every position coming in this year. Our biggest one was looking for a setter and some depth in the outside hitter position. As we know, we had Abby Knoll last year, and she's no longer with us, but she was our big hitter last year. And this year we've got, 4 people in that position. So we have a lot of depth. So that was our biggest piece, was being able to bring in some key outside hitters that are going to help dominate in our conference.
I know you went through workouts in the fall, then you have the big holiday break. So do you feel like you're going to have enough time to be ready as a team to have first serve on Sunday?
The girls did a great job over break at trying to stay in shape, which is all we could really ask for them. And, we've had 2 full weeks of practice, and I think, we've been putting all the pieces to the puzzle together. And right now we still have some kinks to work through, but overall, I've been so proud as a coach to see how this team has come together. And I think, we've played each other, for the last semester. So it's going to be exciting to see what we've been working on, in these short 2 weeks, and also in the fall, how we come out against UT Martin.
Well, your husband Anthony was a baseball player. You were a volleyball player in college, and now son Braden. What's he going to be? I know he's keeping you busy right now. Congratulations.
Thank you. We were kind of split because my family is a big football family. So I'm hoping he'll bleed some maroon and be a part of the baseball program, someday in the future. But we're kind of leaning towards baseball a little bit. But he's keeping us busy for sure.
Sounds good. Well, good luck with a busy winter and spring schedule to the Curdles on the court.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's Johnna Bazzani, the volleyball coach. Here's what's ahead as they start their season. It will be a Sunday-Monday doubleheader against Tennessee Martin. The Sunday game, first serve, begins at 4 o'clock. Hope to see you out at Alumni Coliseum. You can also catch the coverage streamed on ESPN+. When we come back, a big change at EKU, moving from the Ohio Valley Conference to the ASUN. We break it down with one of the architects of the move, Athletics Director Matt Roan, next here on Inside EKU Sports.
Hey, that comes to $1.45.
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, for the cookie. The books are free.
For everybody?
For all undergraduate students. We call it EKU Book Smart.
Let's make that 2 cookies.
On campus, online, delivery, or pickup at EKU. The books are on us.
Eastern Kentucky University has announced that it is joining the ASUN next sports season. Along with Jacksonville State and Central Arkansas, it will now be a 12-team league. Matt Roan is the athletics director at EKU. He's been rather busy with this and everything else. Matt, why the decision to lead the Ohio Valley Conference after 73 years?
Greg, as you and I have talked and as we've shared publicly, I think this is something where there was momentum building towards this decision for several years, several different administrations, even if you will. And as I've shared with you, I think when I came on board this time last year, there were conversations that I was having with our president. I was having conversations with our board chair. Obviously, the ASUN at that point in time had started to publicly disclose, what their expansion and what their, future plans were, that they had, coordinated and certainly received approval from their ADs and their presidents. And it was apparent to us as we've had conversations with several different leagues throughout the past 12 months and maybe even a little bit longer than that the ASUN's ambition and their vision of what they wanted to become matched our own. And then when you talk about, why is this a good decision? It's selfish of me to say that it's only an athletics decision, that this is a university decision. And, introducing ourselves, expanding our brand, increasing the visibility to prospective students, a lot of prospective students in a growing part of the country with major metropolitan areas and growing states was certainly attractive to us. When you look at the fact that 100,000 living alumni live in the ASUN footprint, that is certainly attractive to us. And you talk about that entire life cycle of a student and, returning as an alum. In fact, I received a text, it was either on Friday or Saturday evening from Commissioner Gumbart sharing with me that he was in a grocery store on Saturday in Macon, Georgia, and two of our former student athletes come up to him. They had their EKU gear on. He has his ASUN gear on. And they said, "Hey, we heard the great news. We're excited about that." And so, almost immediately you see those dividends and that excitement returning. And then when I talk about from an athletic, the opportunity to be with those 12 programs now who are, again, aspirational and have the same visions that we do, who are committed to comprehensive success. The ASUN sponsors with the inclusion of football, 20 sports, and, in its most full athletics year, had 19 postseason wins. And so the opportunity to not only get into the tournament, but to try to advance is something that we're excited about and think it makes all the sense in the world.
From the athletic standpoint, is it fair or unfair to say this is football driven to an extent?
I think it's absolutely football driven, but it's also driven by the success and the futures of our 15 other programs as well. I think every single program that we have, we always want to make sure that we're giving them the best chance that they can be successful. And I think this certainly prioritizes football, and it makes football a very important element to it. But as you've heard the president say, that the ASUN really is a basketball-centric league as well. But then when we talk about those postseason victories, they were across, the entire spectrum of sports that the ASUN offers. And, the opportunity, though, to come back to your question and build what we believe is going to be the premier FCS conference in the country. It is certainly exciting, but even more the opportunity to join a league that really doesn't put those restraints on you. If you want to play football at the FCS scholarship, FCS non-scholarship, or FBS level, or even certain schools that don't play football, the ASUN is supportive of you kind of chasing what is right for you, even though you're part of a greater league. And so we're excited about that.
Is it fair to say that this is just the start to what the ASUN related to football will look like, that there's more to come at some point down the road?
Yeah, I think from a football really, and from an all sports standpoint, what we're announcing right now is just a piece of the conversation that we've had. The 12 schools together, the opportunity to try to leverage certain assets that the ASUN has to regionalize, down the line, even a little bit more than we're able to right now, whether that's further expansion or whether that's, again, kind of leveraging some of its assets to do some creative things that point in time are a little bit maybe more philosophical than substantive. But then again, to your question about football, I think that you'll see the football piece evolve, and you've got schools who are again, who are driven, who want to play at the highest level. And by that, I mean, they want to be either the best FCS in the country, or, who knows where that path will lead. And so I think that the ASUN is got a strategic approach. We're excited to be a part of that plan with them.
Final question. There's a lot of social media noise, I'll call it, about next year in football, next season in the fall of 2021. Because the ASUN has 2 playing in the Big South now, the 3 additions. You need 1 more for an AQ, automatic qualifier to the playoffs. So to be determined, I mean, let's look away from all the noise. Where do you think we're headed there, or when's that decision going to come? Who are we going to play next year as far as FCS opponents?
Well, we, again, as I've shared, I guess publicly several times now, our primary goal in all of this is to get to 6, 7, as many as 8 FCS members. And we would love to have that by July 1 of 2021, but it may go into July 1 of 2022. And so one of my goals, or, the things, the must-haves and part of these negotiations and part of our ultimate decision to move leagues was making sure that every single one of our 16 programs have that AQ access. That if we win the championship, we're automatically into the field of the SCFs or the NCAA postseason. The ASUN does have a current affiliate membership with the Big South Conference. So that is something that we have available to us. As I shared again on Friday, there are certain leagues in the country right now that are kind of going through a similar evolution that we find ourselves in right now. And so, there could be some opportunities for some scheduling alliances, some scheduling partnerships. But, the thing that we're pretty bullish on, and the thing that we want to make sure that folks understand, is that the ASUN will have football in 21. We will compete for a conference championship. That patch will be on our jersey. It'll be on our field. We'll have those ASUN standings, and we just have a little bit more work to do to try to get across that finish line.
All right, the work never ends. Thanks for everything you've done, Matt, and good luck in the future, because there's a lot of things still ahead, including a lot of spring and winter sports to conclude as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's been a unique year, a year certainly with challenges, but challenges have led to great opportunities, and we're excited about this move, Greg, and we're excited about concluding these winter sports. I feel like we're in a great spot there, and excited to get so many of our fall sports competing in the spring. To have 15 programs, 15 of our 16 competing for championships in one semester has never been done before, and hopefully we can win them all.
All right, that's Matt Roan, Athletics Director at EKU. When we come back here on Inside EKU Sports, we'll check in with the men's basketball program. It's back to basketball for the men's program at EKU, and A.W. Hamilton joins us now. How were you able to deal with those games that were postponed and not play for a 12-day stretch and get back to it and try to keep momentum going?
Obviously it was a challenge, Stotts. You think about how far we've come when you think about conditioning and the strength and conditioning of our program, and for having to, mix and match and not having some guys in the gym, not having got some guys in the weight room. Was a bit of a challenge, but I was really proud of how, we stuck together. We got through that little bump, and, we're excited to be back at home and play in front of our fans again.
4 more games at home in the regular season. The next 2 are tough ones. You have a 9-game winning streak stretching back into the end of last year at home, but Austin Peay and Murray State will both be big challenges. Let's start with Austin Peay. They have Terry Taylor in the mix for OVC Player of the Year again, and they had a shot to tie it at the end in Clarksville, didn't make it, and you won it, a big win by 5, so they'll be looking for a comeback against the Colonels.
Yeah, and look, the Austin Peay game, it took Wendell Green having one of the best games probably in the country by a freshman this year for us to win that game on the road. They're a tough team. They're tough to beat in their building. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us. Terry Taylor is phenomenal, Stotzy. He just, he's hard to rebound against. He's hard to box out. He's hard to guard one-on-one. He can really get to his left hand. He gets to his spots. We're going to have to do a great job on him. And like we talked about before the last time we played him, everybody's going to have to guard him. Michael, Trey, Tyreek, Cooper Robb, CJ, everybody's going to have to, pitch in to stop him.
When you look at who is going to be OVC Player of the Year, this is a team game, but Trey King on your team is really making a statement that he should be under consideration as well.
I think so, Stotts. I know you and I talk about this all the time. He's second in the league in scoring. He's third in the league in rebounding. I think he's third in the league in steals. He's top 5 or 6 in blocks. He's taken 11 charges. He's hitting big shot after big shot. He's had a special season. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of how he's grown. He's one of our team captains. He's been a great leader. He's been our most consistent guy, not just in the games, but how he approaches practice. And you come to practice, Stotts, and you see this, you know exactly what Trey King is going to give us. He gives us the same thing every day. He goes hard, he competes, he's positive. And that's why, it's translating on the court.
Then Saturday afternoon, Murray State, January 9th, 2013. Last time the Colonels have defeated Murray State, and they're better than what their OVC record shows right now.
Oh, no question. Tevin Brown is capable of going off on any given night. They take Belmont to the wire. They could have easily won that game, but they've had a bunch of games like that. So, look, it's still Murray State. They're big. They're physical. They guard you. They're tough. They're going to execute in the half court. What we got to do is we got to get up and down. Our press has got to be really good, and we want it to be a high possession game.
Let's go back to the Colonels. As we've talked about your two upcoming opponents, you're shooting the ball better as a team, and I've seen player after player get better from the field, especially the deep ball. Moreno, Cooper Robb, Jaquez Hobbs, Rashard Cruikshank, and Wendell Green all shooting the ball better from three, and that's made your team better. Helps on the defensive end too, doesn't it?
It really does. In the beginning of the season, we were struggling so bad offensively, and you and I talked about it because you come to practice. These guys as well as I do. They can make shots, but it's about us getting rhythm shots, getting each other the easy shot, making the extra pass. And, we've improved night and day on the offensive end. You look up, Stotts, we're 7th in the country in scoring. We're number 1 in the OVC in scoring. We're number 1 in the OVC in 3-point field goals made per game. So, we have really improved offensively. We're sharing the ball much better. We're getting high percentage shots. It's just a matter of time before Cooper Robb is going to shoot over 30% from the three. He just is. Michael Moreno, we talked about when we got Mike that, he played the 5 in high school. He was a post player. But when I watch Mike and talking to Coach Hicks, we always talked about how well he can shoot the basketball. So we always projected him as a guy that could hit 80-plus threes in a season.
How do you navigate having 3 games, the normal Thursday, Saturday run, and either a Monday or a Tuesday game, 4 straight weeks after these 2 at home, 7 straight on the road, keep your team fresh, lock in on your academics as well? How do you deal with all this?
Well, we've prided ourselves in being the best conditioned team in the country. I said that when the day I got here, that's what we were going to be. I think every kid on our team is in the best shape of their life. And now I say this too, we got incredible depth. So we're going to have to use everybody. And that's been us our all season. We've had a different hero in many of our games, and we've used everybody, and we'll continue to do that and do it more. And we'll just use our depth to our advantage.
Thanks for your time, Coach. We'll see you at Alumni this week.
Thanks, Stotts.
All right, that's the head coach of the Colonels, A.W. Hamilton. Here's what's ahead at home, the second to last homestand of the year. It'll be at 7 o'clock against Austin Peay on Thursday, a 4 o'clock tip against Murray State on Saturday, again 4 o'clock. We have coverage at 100.7 FM on the TuneIn app, streamed at EKUsports.com, video stream at ESPN+. Hope to see you out at McBrayer Arena. That does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. Like and follow Colonel Athletics on all these social media pages. Until next time, as always, go Big E.